Imagine waking up every day, free from the gnawing doubts that creep into your mind. That feeling of insecurity? It's like a shadow that follows you, whispering lies that undermine your relationships. But what if I told you there's a way to silence that inner critic? Picture Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, standing beside you, offering wisdom that transcends time. His thoughts could be your shield against the chaos of insecurity. What if you could learn to see every challenge as an opportunity instead of a threat? What if the key to unshakable confidence lies within the very nature of your thoughts? As you navigate the complexities of love and connection, remember, your perceptions shape your reality. So how do you break free from the chains of self-doubt? Every moment is a chance to rewrite your narrative. Are you ready to take control? To embrace a mindset that empowers rather than enslaves? As we dive deeper, consider this. Your worth isn't defined by others, but by how you view yourself. Let's explore this journey together, unraveling the timeless principles of Stoicism that can illuminate your path to unwavering self-assurance. Your transformation begins now. Self-knowledge and acceptance. You know, there's something incredibly powerful about really getting to know yourself. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion. Each layer reveals something new. I've spent a lot of time reflecting on my insecurities, and it's been a journey of discovery. For instance, I realized that my fear of failure often held me back from pursuing opportunities that could have been life-changing. Accepting these imperfections is crucial. We're all human, and nobody is perfect. Embracing this truth has allowed me to let go of the unrealistic standards I set for myself. When I accepted my flaws, it was liberating. I learned that it's okay not to have everything figured out. I often find myself thinking about how society pressures us to present a polished version of ourselves, but in reality, we all have our struggles. Acknowledging my imperfections has fostered a sense of compassion towards myself. It's a reminder that, despite my shortcomings, I am deserving of love and respect. This self-acceptance has allowed me to forge deeper connections with others, as I'm more open about my vulnerabilities. In my journey, I've also come to understand that self-knowledge isn't just about recognizing flaws. It's about recognizing strengths too. I've discovered skills and talents I never knew I had, simply because I took the time to explore my interests. This exploration has not only boosted my confidence, but has also opened doors to new experiences. The more I learn about myself, the more I find ways to express my true self in different areas of my life, whether it's in my career or personal relationships. One of the most significant revelations for me was realizing that my past doesn't define me. I used to carry the weight of past mistakes like a heavy backpack, but I now choose to view them as lessons instead. This shift in perspective has been transformative. Each experience, good or bad, has contributed to who I am today. Embracing my journey, with all its ups and downs, has been a crucial part of my self-acceptance process. Ultimately, self-knowledge and acceptance have taught me the importance of authenticity. I strive to live a life that feels true to myself, without constantly seeking external validation. Understanding who I am, accepting my imperfections, and celebrating my strengths have created a foundation for a more fulfilling life. It's a continuous journey, but one that I'm learning to embrace with open arms. Control of emotions. I've often found myself at the mercy of my emotions, reacting impulsively to situations that, in hindsight, didn't warrant such strong feelings. Learning to control my emotions has been a game changer. It's not about suppressing feelings, but rather understanding them. I've adopted some principles from Stoicism, which emphasize the importance of maintaining inner peace despite external chaos. This philosophy has taught me that I have the power to choose my reactions rather than letting circumstances dictate my emotional state. One practical approach I've implemented is pausing before reacting. In the past, I would immediately respond to criticism with defensiveness. Now I take a step back, breathe, and consider my response carefully. This simple pause has allowed me to approach situations more rationally, leading to better outcomes in my interactions. It's fascinating how a moment of reflection can prevent unnecessary conflict and frustration. Moreover, practicing gratitude has significantly helped me control my emotions. When I focus on what I'm thankful for, it shifts my perspective. Instead of dwelling on negative experiences or feelings, I redirect my energy toward positivity. This shift doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means approaching them with a clearer mindset. I've noticed that when I cultivate gratitude, I'm less likely to be oaf. I've also learned the importance of expressing my emotions in healthy ways. Bottling up feelings can lead to explosive reactions later on. I've found that sharing my thoughts with trusted friends or writing in a journal helps release built-up tension. By voicing my emotions, I not only gain clarity but also strengthen my relationships. This openness fosters deeper connections, as others can relate to my struggles and offer support. In a world that often feels chaotic, mastering emotional control, it's a skill that requires practice and patience, but the benefits are undeniable. I'm learning to navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm and resilience, which has impacted not just my emotional well-being, but also my relationships and overall happiness. Focus on the present. Living in the present moment is something I've had to consciously work on. It's all too easy to get caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. I remember a time when I was constantly anxious about upcoming events, which prevented me from enjoying the moment I was in. Shifting my focus to the present has been a profound practice that has transformed my perspective on life. Mindfulness has become an essential tool for me. I've started incorporating simple practices like meditation and deep breathing into my daily routine. These moments of stillness help ground me, allowing me to appreciate the now. I've discovered that even the most mundane moments can hold beauty if I take the time to truly experience them. Whether it's savoring a meal or enjoying a walk outside, being present enhances my overall enjoyment of life. Moreover, focusing on the present has reduced my anxieties about the future. I realize that worrying about what might happen is a waste of energy. Instead, I've chosen to take things one day at a time. By concentrating on what I can control today, I feel more empowered and less overwhelmed. It's liberating to know that, while I can plan for the future, I don't have to let it consume my thoughts. This practice also impacts my relationships positively. When I'm fully present with friends or family, I can engage in more meaningful conversations. I've noticed that when I'm distracted, I miss out on the nuances of interactions. Being attentive allows me to connect on a deeper level, fostering stronger bonds. I've learned that the quality of time spent together is far more valuable than the quantity. Ultimately, embracing the present moment has enriched my life in ways I never expected. It's a continuous effort, but the rewards are immense. I find myself experiencing joy in the little things, and I'm learning to navigate challenges with a clearer mindset. Living in the now has become a powerful practice that shapes my overall happiness and fulfillment. Personal improvement. The journey of personal improvement is one I'm deeply passionate about. I believe that striving for self-development is not just beneficial, but essential for a fulfilling life. It's about constantly seeking ways to grow and evolve, whether through new experiences, skills, or mindsets. I've made it a priority to invest time in activities that challenge me, pushing me beyond. One of the first steps I took was setting clear goals for myself. I realized that without direction, personal growth can feel aimless. I started small, creating achievable goals that align with my values and interests. Whether it's learning a new skill, improving my fitness, or nurturing relationships, having a clear vision keeps me motivated. I find that when I reach these milestones, no matter how small, it boosts my confidence and encourages me to aim higher. Additionally, I've embraced the concept of lifelong learning. I've always enjoyed reading, and now I make a conscious effort to explore topics that intrigue me. Whether it's self-help books, biographies, or even online courses, this pursuit of knowledge has enriched my understanding of the world and myself. The more I learn, the more I realize how much there is to discover. This curiosity fuels my desire for improvement and keeps my mind engaged. Feedback has also become an invaluable tool in my personal development. I've learned to seek constructive criticism from those I trust. Initially, it was difficult to hear feedback, especially negative comments. However, I've come to understand that this input is essential for growth. It offers me a fresh perspective and highlights areas where I can improve. Embracing feedback has not only helped me evolve but has also strengthened my relationships. As it shows, I value others' opinions. Finally, I've discovered the importance of self-compassion in the improvement process. It's easy to be hard on myself when I don't meet my expectations. However, I've learned to treat myself with kindness, recognizing that growth takes time. Celebrating progress, no matter how small, has become a practice I cherish. This mindset shift has created a healthier relationship with myself, allowing me to focus on continuous improvement without the burden of perfectionism. Stoic perspective on death. You know, when I first stumbled upon the Stoic philosophy regarding death, it felt a bit heavy, almost morbid. But over time, I started to see it in a different light. The idea is that by acknowledging our mortality, we can appreciate life more deeply. It's like a reality check that reminds us how precious our time truly is. When I think about it, it pushes me to value my relationships. Instead of taking people for granted, I find myself cherishing each moment, knowing that nothing lasts forever. This contemplation of death also helps me live without the paralyzing fear of loss. Sure, it's natural to worry about losing loved ones, but embracing the inevitability of death has taught me to focus on the present moments we share. I've noticed that when I let go of that fear, I'm more open to love and connection. It's liberating, really. Instead of shying away from vulnerability, I lean into it, knowing that every hug, every laugh, and even every tear is part of this beautiful, albeit fleeting, experience we call life. Moreover, understanding death has shifted my perspective on conflicts and misunderstandings. I've realized that many trivial arguments seem insignificant when weighed against the finality of life. Instead of holding grudges, I find it easier to forgive and move on. It's almost like I have a mental filter now, allowing me to prioritize what truly matters: love, connection, and understanding, over petty disagreements. In essence, reflecting on mortality helps me nurture a sense of urgency to express my feelings and appreciation for those around me. It's become a driving force in my life, prompting me to reach out to friends and family to say, "I love you" more often, and to create memories that will linger long after we're gone. It's incredible how this one perspective can reshape our relationships and our approach to life itself. Ultimately, the Stoic view on death isn't about being morbid. It's about living fully. It's about making the most of every moment, every relationship, and every opportunity to connect with others. I've learned to embrace the impermanence of life, which has allowed me to experience it more richly. Acceptance of impermanence. Life, as I've come to realize, is a series of changes, and accepting impermanence has been a game changer for me. It's a tough pill to swallow, but once I did, I found a surprising sense of peace. Relationships, opportunities, and even our own lives are all transient. Understanding this truth has helped me manage my expectations and cope with the inevitable ebbs and flows of life. The acceptance of this impermanence has also reduced my anxiety. Instead of obsessing over what could go wrong or worrying about losing someone, I've learned to appreciate the here and now. Every moment spent with loved ones is a gift, and that realization makes it easier to let go of the fear of losing them. I've started to view change as a natural part of life rather than a threat. This shift in mindset allows me to enjoy the present without the shadow of future loss looming over me. Moreover, recognizing that all relationships are temporary encourages me to invest in them fully. It's like a gentle reminder to not hold back my feelings, to express gratitude, and to create lasting memories. I've adopted a more open-hearted approach to friendships and romantic relationships, knowing that the time we have together is limited. This perspective fosters deeper connections, as I'm more willing to be vulnerable and authentic with others. It's also interesting how this acceptance of impermanence can lead to a greater appreciation for the beauty in life. I find myself savoring little moments, a shared laugh, a sunset, a quiet evening with someone I care about, because I understand that these experiences are fleeting. It's a beautiful way to cultivate gratitude and presence, transforming my outlook on life. In the end, embracing the truth of impermanence has not only alleviated my anxiety, but has also enriched my relationships. I've learned to cherish the time I have with others and to engage with life in a more meaningful way. It's about finding joy in the now, knowing that it's all part of a bigger, ever-changing tapestry. Empathy and understanding others. Empathy is one of those qualities that sounds simple but can be incredibly profound. I've come to realize that everyone has their own set of insecurities and struggles, just like I do. When I make an effort to understand this, it transforms my interactions with others. Instead of judging or jumping to conclusions, I try to put myself in their shoes. This shift in perspective fosters a sense of connection that I never thought possible. When I engage with others empathetically, it opens the door to deeper conversations. I find that people are often more willing to share their vulnerabilities when they feel understood. It creates a safe space for authentic dialogue, and that's where real connections are formed. It's fascinating how a little compassion can bridge gaps and foster understanding among people from different walks of life. Moreover, this practice of empathy has helped me navigate conflicts more gracefully. Instead of reacting defensively, I take a step back and consider the other person's feelings and motivations. This doesn't mean I ignore my own feelings, but rather that I approach disagreements with a mindset geared toward resolution rather than escalation. It's a game changer in building and maintaining healthy relationships. I've also noticed that cultivating empathy enriches my own emotional experience. When I take the time to understand someone else's pain or joy, it adds depth to my own feelings. It's a reminder that we're all in this together, facing our own battles and celebrating our victories. This shared human experience fosters a sense of belonging and connectedness that is incredibly fulfilling. In essence, practicing empathy transforms not only my relationships, but also my view of the world. It encourages me to be more compassionate, understanding, and patient with those around me. The more I engage with empathy, the more I realize how interconnected we all are in our struggles and triumphs. It's a beautiful reminder that we're never truly alone in this journey. Letting go of outcomes. I've often found myself caught in the web of expectations. You know that feeling, right? When you invest so much in how a relationship should unfold, only to realize you're setting yourself up for disappointment. It's like trying to catch fog with your bare hands. The more you grasp, the less you hold on to. That's where the practice of detaching from outcomes comes into play. It's about shifting the focus from what might happen to what I can control, my actions and my responses. This doesn't mean I should stop caring, though. It's about caring without the weight of expectation looming over me. When I let go of the need for a specific result, I free myself to enjoy the connection for what it is. I can appreciate the moments, the laughter, and the shared experiences without the pressure of a predefined script. By focusing on the journey rather than the destination, I find a sense of peace. I can engage with my partner or friends wholeheartedly, knowing that whatever happens next is part of the adventure. Sometimes, I have to remind myself that everyone carries their own set of expectations. The key is to cultivate an environment where we can both express ourselves without fear of judgment. When I stop obsessing over how things should unfold, it opens the door for authenticity. I can be myself and allow others to be themselves too. This practice fosters genuine connections that are less about the outcomes and more about the shared experience. Detaching from outcomes also teaches me resilience. Life is unpredictable, and relationships can shift unexpectedly. When I embrace uncertainty and release the need for control, I find that I can handle whatever comes my way with grace. I learn to adapt, to accept, and to grow. This approach not only enhances my relationships, but also enriches my personal journey. It's a continuous process of learning to let go and, in return, embracing the richness of the present moment. Ultimately, letting go of outcomes isn't about apathy, it's about empowerment. I take back my power by focusing on what I can influence while allowing others the space to do the same. It's a delicate balance, but when I manage it well, I experience deeper, more meaningful connections that thrive on authenticity rather than expectation. Clear and honest communication. When it comes to relationships, communication is the lifeblood that keeps everything flowing smoothly. I've learned firsthand that being clear and honest about my feelings is crucial. It's not always easy, though. I find myself hesitating sometimes, afraid of how my words might be received. But every time I muster the courage to express what's on my mind, I realize the importance of transparency. It builds trust, and trust is the foundation of any healthy interaction. Being honest about my insecurities often feels daunting, but it's liberating too. When I share my fears and vulnerabilities, I invite others to do the same. It creates a safe space where we can both be open about what we're feeling. This kind of dialogue fosters understanding and compassion. Instead of tiptoeing around sensitive topics, we can address them head-on, which ultimately strengthens our bond. I've also come to appreciate the role of active listening in communication. It's not just about voicing my thoughts. It's equally important to listen to what the other person has to say. When I practice active listening, I show that I value their perspective. It's a two-way street, and both sides need to feel heard for the conversation to be fruitful. This process helps me reflect on my own feelings and consider how they impact the relationship. Moreover, clear communication helps to eliminate misunderstandings. I've had my share of miscommunications that led to unnecessary conflicts. When I prioritize being straightforward, I reduce the chances of confusion. It's about articulating my thoughts and feelings clearly so that the other person understands where I'm coming from. This clarity not only resolves issues, but also prevents them from awry. In the end, embracing clear and honest communication is about nurturing relationships. It allows me to express myself authentically while encouraging others to do the same. The more I practice this openness, the more I realize that vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a strength that fosters deeper connections and enriches our shared experiences. Reevaluating beliefs and values. One of the most enlightening journeys I've embarked on is the reevaluation of my beliefs and values. Many of these beliefs were instilled in me from a young age, shaped by my environment and experiences. However, as I've grown, I've started to question whether these beliefs serve me or hinder my personal growth. It's a process that requires introspection and a willingness to challenge the status quo. I've realized that some of my beliefs were rooted in fear of rejection, fear of failure, or even fear of not being enough. These fears often manifested in my relationships, leading to insecurities that clouded my interactions. By consciously examining these beliefs, I've been able to identify which ones are outdated or no longer align with who I am today. This awareness has been liberating, allowing me to shed the weight of unnecessary anxiety. Reevaluating my beliefs also involves understanding the impact they have on my relationships. I've noticed how certain values I hold can shape my expectations of others. For example, if I believe that vulnerability is a weakness, I might hesitate to open up. By challenging this belief and recognizing vulnerability as a strength, I create space for deeper connections. It's a transformative realization that allows me to engage more authentically with those around me. Additionally, this process encourages me to embrace a growth mindset. I'm learning that it's okay to change my mind or adapt my beliefs as I gain new insights. Life is fluid, and as I encounter new experiences and perspectives, my understanding evolves. This flexibility helps me to approach relationships with an open heart and mind, fostering an atmosphere of mutual respect and understanding. Ultimately, reevaluating my beliefs and values is an ongoing journey. It requires courage to confront the ingrained notions that no longer serve me. But as I continue this exploration, I find that it leads to healthier relationships, greater emotional resilience. I'm learning to cultivate beliefs that empower me, and in turn, empower those around me. As we wrap up our exploration of Marcus Aurelius's philosophy, let's take a moment to reflect on your own relationships. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a cycle of insecurity? Remember, the power to change your perspective lies within you. Just like Aurelius taught us, it's not the external world that defines our worth. It's our thoughts and actions that shape our reality. So, the next time you feel that familiar pang of doubt, pause. Ask yourself, what is in my control? Can I shift my focus from what others think to my own values? This mindset shift can be your anchor in turbulent waters. And here's a challenge for you. Try to practice gratitude daily. Acknowledge the positive aspects of your relationships and the strength you bring to them. It's these small shifts that can transform your entire experience. Now, I want to hear from you. What strategies have you found effective in overcoming insecurity? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, embracing Stoicism isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about understanding and mastering them. Let's continue this journey together. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and keep striving for that inner tranquility.